What's up, traders? It's your professor here, ready to give you a post-market recap. So I'm going to go straight to the point here and show you guys what consistency looks like. Now, consistency is one thing that a lot of traders lack and a lot of Discord rooms don't see. We see a lot of Discord rooms take a lot of unnecessary trades and they force things, not understanding the complete market structure. With the SPX model that I've designed, we can analyze the best entries with the inflection points, understand what the premium ideal point is, and understand the overall market structure and the key ranges. So I'm going to be showing to you guys what real consistency looks like. We had a $500 account challenge that is currently doubled, but overall, a lot of traders are looking for consistent rooms, and this is one of them. So, showcasing to you guys what a consistent trade looks like, what are our A plus setups, is going to be the highlight of today's video. We're also going to give you guys a little bit of overview of some technicals you can look at and things you want to be aware of when you are taking your own trades. So let's get into it. So the first thing here is yesterday, we've seen that the market opened lower. It was showing major signs of weakness. So when that happens, SPX was down around 1% or so. The first thing that we did here is we had no trades, no swings whatsoever. The last 3 weeks, we were hitting every single play nonstop, and we continue to do it again this time. So because of that, we always want to wait for the right opportunity. So we start off Monday by putting an order to buy the 63.50 put here. Sorry, my apologies. Yeah, that's a 63.50 put. And this is when S&P 500 was down under 6,400 yesterday. So looking into this here, we've seen that the IV is elevated. The 63.50 was actually going for around $8 when we first pointed this trade out, but we mentioned we wanted it at 2.5. So waiting for that, we also called it out for the $500 account challenge as well. We also ended up buying PLTR 160 call, which was a nice, amazing ripper as well. We got this fill on this 63.50 put, and so far the market was a little bit of bouncy. We were talking about a lot of stuff. The trade was started to really move here, and we decided to eventually sell it for around 50%. It actually went a lot higher during the day, but because it's the beginning of the week, we wanted to take profit. So you see that right over here, PLTR, nice win here at 50%. We actually held it on because we wanted to swing. And while we were going through this here, that SPX put that I gave at 2.5 managed to do very well overall. Okay, so it managed to give between 50 to 30% from what I remember here. If we go down, we actually sold up for 50% right there and then. Okay, it went way higher, but we want to make sure that we did not lose that winner trade. The next thing that I mentioned here is that we placed an order yesterday to buy 63.70 put at 70 cents. Now the mistake I made here actually is the trade was very close to filling and it bounced off at 90 cents to 1.5. I waited for that retest back down. We got in at a little bit of a higher price. Trump was speaking then. So that trade also ended up being a solid winner for the team as well. So another amazing play for SPX. We have a flawless record on SPX so far this week. We took these core weave calls here, which did go up 30%, but we still held. They're doing a little bit weaker now. So we jumped in at 95 cents for this trade over here, but it would have failed and it would have definitely ripped there as well. The next thing that we did, and this is for today, is we start off the day by buying GS calls because we're waiting for the jobs report. And the first thing we did, we also want to get Apple calls. That didn't fill. Our first SPX play was 64.45 call. A lot of people didn't believe this was going to fill. By But what I realized is that the call premiums, because we had a very strong open, so going into yesterday here, I actually mentioned to the team that the market would see it open at around 63.40 ish, right? So that's exactly what happened. So if we go back in time here, I mentioned exactly right over here that the market would see a ripper back to 64.40, and that was yesterday at around market close. So going back into this SPX trade, we said we want to buy 1.5. For the people that play SPY, we said 643 calls can work, okay? Now, our SPY traders are very important to us as well. We drop a lot of SPY trades in the free Discord here that also been hitting as well. We give one trade per day on that. So once that SPY play and the SPX hit, we sold our PLTR calls for 60. It went to max 80. We got the fill on the 64.30 puts today at 2.8, and they started to move right off the bat here. They made around 60%. We took that profit at 100%, and then we decided to get the call fill. So, sorry, my apologies. We took this SPX 64.30 put. This was not pre-announced. It was a B plus off the pre-market high zone. We got 100% off it. Then our 64.45 call had filled. We noticed that once the pre-market high had set, so if you guys look at today's market structure, we seen SPX hit over here. I was looking at getting puts. We got into puts around this zone over here today. So this is talking about today. We got over here. If you guys look on my Twitter feed as well, we can see exactly what I'm talking about here, okay? Because in my Twitter feed, we give so much information here that it's better than most people's Discord that constantly charge. So we basically said that look for a pullback over here at 64.20, and that's exactly what happened. The pullback took us all the way down to 64.20 right over there, okay? So we got bearish at that point. That's how we banked. And while the market was going down, we were 10 steps ahead and pretty much getting ready to buy our 64.45 calls there, because this was at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock was right over here where that market was ripping. It went over here, and by this point we got puts. So let me do a little bit of a review. So around 10:30, we will see right over here. This is where we placed an entry, so you guys can understand. Placed an entry to buy SPX 60.45 calls. Okay, so that's what we did. We put an entry point there. At this point, we bought at around 10:55. So literally right over here, we bought the puts, and eventually at 11:29. Sorry, that's 11:30 almost. We sold the puts there, okay? So right when we got to the lower WAP, we sold the puts right there and then, and we banked that 100%. The call filled at that particular point. We got the fill. The SPX, so once it filled, it ripped to the WAP here. We sold the calls for another 90%. So that's two trades in a row. We got the up and the down. So once that was done, then we planted another SPX 64.45 call. One thing that you want to realize is that why did we pick the 65.45 call? Is because that was the WAP range here, okay? We always want to make sure that you have the correct corresponding strike that can appropriately work. So 64.45 was where we were eyeing here. We put that order to buy at 50 cents. We got the fill. That immediately gave us 56%, right? So once that put filled and that call filled at approximately 145. So literally right over here, it filled on this bottom, and you seen a hammer candle right over here. It filled right away. I didn't sell it for that point, but I told my team, as long as it hits 50%, and you don't sell, that's on you. We took a CRM put lotto as well, but at the end of the day, when the market started to really rip, that's when I got an opportunity to exit my calls at around 106%. Those actually went a little bit higher at close. So there you go, guys. This is what consistency looks like. Every morning, I do give a prediction on where SPX can go based on my report. Today, I said that the trading range would be 64.10, 64.70, and I said I expect slow movement, but that was wrong. But I literally gave the edge to the upside, and it was just pure chop and all of that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little lesson here. You know, we've been very consistent with our SPX. As you guys can see, our A+ setups involve pre-announcing our orders. By me letting you know what time I want to buy the puts, the strikes, and stuff, that also allows me to play the other side of the trade if we believe the premiums are going to go down. Only a person that can read premiums can tell you how this works. Okay, so join a mentorship program if you guys want to figure it out. We provide coaching so you learn, and this is honestly one of the best communities you can be a part of, because a lot of education, a lot of fun, and we always pre-announce our stuff, unlike most people. So you won't ever miss it, because once the alert is given in advance, you have an opportunity to adjust your trade as it goes on. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next one, and like always, let's get that money.